Welcome to the show. Many viewers have questions on field rations and field ration history, so I'll go and read the YouTube comment section down below on some of my videos and see what I can come up with. Well, looking at my previous videos, looking at the video on the Charlie Ration Cookbook by the McIlhenny Company, Ron Stryker in the comment section asked, if you can get a hold of the MRE cookbook, that would be interesting to see. Well, I'm glad you asked, Ron. I'll go show you it. Well, in 1985, the McIlhenny Company, the makers of Tabasco Sauce, have made a successor to the Charlie Ration Cookbook. While the Charlie Ration Cookbook used MCIs, or Meals Combat Individual, canned military field rations, since then, the MCI has been replaced by the MRE. So, what are MREs? MREs, or Meals Ready to Eat, were introduced in 1981 and are still the current issue and standard issue United States military field ration. Three of these are needed to sustain a troop that is physically active. And the big change from the MCIs back in use during the Vietnam War to the MRE is that the MRE would use plastic pouches with mylar liners. Now, what does that mean? These produce a lot less volume in trash, are much lighter to carry around, and are a lot more easier and convenient to use. These MREs do not need any additional water to rehydrate the entrees or food items. It's almost like canned food, but without the can, if that makes sense. They can be eaten cold. However, beverages inside, such as lemonade, sports drink powder, or coffee, would need additional water. Previously, in 1981, when MREs were first introduced, they did not look like this. They had a much darker brown packaging. In 1996, they would change over to a new style of packaging with a more lighter brown color. Now, later on in 2008, MREs have changed to have three distinctive designs on the packaging. These provide variety for the troops just to make them look less visually fatiguing or generic. However, all of them are made by the same contractor in the same box. Now, the amount of varieties of MREs you can get. In the past, you get 12 different entree menus. However, now you can get 24, which means you can actually slow down on food fatigue, which is a problem if you eat the same thing all the time. Trust me, I know. Now, before these 24 MRE choices, you do get additional varieties for religious dietary restrictions. For example, you have halal MREs. You also have kosher MREs. Besides military MREs, you also have cold weather rations, which are in a white package and include a Mountain House dehydrated freeze-dried entree. Now, besides these military rations, you also have yourself the humanitarian daily ration. Then yellow, now salmon or pink-colored, rations that are vegetarian for its use in distribution for disaster-stricken areas. Now, every year, some MRE entrees would get changed and be replaced with newer ones. For example, in the 2000s, you have yourselves vegetable omelet, which was absolutely disgusting, getting replaced by something else. So now, these days, if you open up a case of them, more than likely don't have to worry about getting that. Unless you get really, really old ones, and then you have even bigger problems. Now, let's go open an MRE and see what's inside. So, let's go open menu number 9, beef stew. Got ourselves wheat snack bread. I think something got crushed inside. Got ourselves sour Skittles, which are crushed and spilling powder everywhere. Got ourselves our flameless ration heater. Beverage base powder, lemon lime. A hot beverage bag. Peanut butter. Grape jelly. A plastic MRE spoon with a long handle makes it easier to eat the entree. Speaking of entrees, we have ourselves our beef stew, vanilla pound cake, and our accessory pack. Now, what's inside this accessory pack? Got ourselves Bill's Brew, freeze-dried instant coffee. Water-resistant matches. A little tiny bottle of Tabasco sauce. Little tiny wad of toilet paper. Salt packet. Moist towelette. Packet of sugar. Goes well with the coffee. Non-dairy coffee creamer. Sugar-free chewing gum. And another packet of sugar-free chewing gum. Let's go take a look at what else we have. Here we have the contents of our MRE. Now, what's interesting about this piece of technology is that with water and a rock or something, you can use it to heat up your ration. Now, another use for these MRE heaters is shenanigans. Now, how can you do shenanigans with this? Well, if you get one of these, stuff it inside of a largemouth Gatorade bottle or a pet bottle or something like that, add water, and optionally our friend Tabasco, you'll get some very funny things. Now, back in 1981, when MREs were first introduced, they did have teething issues. For example, oftentimes they'd be jokingly called meals refusing to exit. Due to the low fiber and highly processed contents, meals rejected by Ethiopians, where back in the 1990s, Ethiopia had a famine, and jokingly these were so bad that even they would not want it. Or, quite simply, meals refused by everybody. So what does Tabasco sauce have to do with it? Well, besides having it be a periodic addition to some accessory packs in these MREs, back in 1985 they released a recipe booklet called the Unofficial MRE Recipe Booklet, featuring illustrations by Mort Walker, creator of the military-themed American comic strip Beetle Bailey, featuring characters such as Private Beetle Bailey, Sergeant First Class Snorkel, and Cookie Jowls, the mess hall cook. These are nice illustrations in full color and full print. And with that, the McIlhenny Company tries to transform meals rejected by everybody to meals ready to excite. Now, how do you get one of these MRE recipe books? Well, back in 1985, as a marketing strategy, for $5 you can send a troop a 2-ounce bottle of Tabasco sauce, the MRE recipe cookbook, and as an added bonus, a nylon pouch for the Tabasco sauce, which can fix itself to the nylon belt, also known as the Alice belt or the pistol belt, the then standard issue web belt of the United States military. So what is the difference between the unofficial MRE recipe booklet and a Charlie Ration cookbook? Other than using MREs as a base, the MRE cookbook would use ingredients exclusively found within the MREs, instead of locally acquired food. Also, one thing is that it doesn't require or encourage the use of heavy amounts of fat, such as oil or butter or so, which does improve the taste of food, but not the easiest thing to obtain out in the field. Say, if you're out in the middle of some copper fob out in the middle of Afghanistan, or out in the, I don't know, like out in Iraq or so, or even the locals don't even know what Tabasco sauce is, or the bazaar might be a bit too dangerous to go and shop around casually in. One thing that is common between the unofficial MRE recipe cookbook and the Charlie Ration cookbook: liberal amounts of Tabasco sauce to be used in every single meal and entree. While the first edition of the unofficial MRE cookbook was released in 1985, later on in 2001, through my own research, they have released a second version, which updates the menu items, keeps the same illustration, but where some MREs would change over time and some recipes would become useless. The 2001 recipe cookbook would reflect on the MRE menu of that time. In the marketing materials for the MRE cookbook, as well as the first page for a recipe, and while everything can be prepared using the components and accessories and parts of the MRE, it makes the meat pan obsolescent. While I was unable to find the 1985 first edition of the MRE recipe cookbook, I was able to find the 2001 version in full. And we're going to go use a recipe from this sort of version. So what are these recipes found in the unofficial MRE recipe booklet? Got ourselves Paratrooper Potluck Pie, accompanied with that Canteen Coca Mocha. Got yourself This Ain't No Picnic Cheeseburger, accompanied itself with a peanut butter patrol cookie. Minefield Minestrone Soup with mess hall mashed potatoes. Beanwich Bombers with Tutti Frutti Combat Cake. And Spicy Special Ops Pizza with Patriot Pound Cake. Where they tried to make pizza way before pizza became an official MRE item. At the very bottom, you also have a little tiny comic strip promoting Tabasco Sauce, in which Sergeant Snorkel, dealing with a cook, he wants seconds. Why does he want seconds? It's easy. Because he has Tabasco Sauce. Well, I'm going to go make meal number 1. Paratrooper Potluck Pie with Canteen Coca Mocha. Now, one issue I quickly identified with this cookbook is that the components to assemble one of these meals requires more than one MRE. Why is that a problem? Well, ideally, if you're in a COP or a base or so, you'd have a box with the unused extra MRE components that other troops don't want to help eliminate food waste. Looking through the ingredients of these recipes, I've quickly identified a problem. To make them, you need different components from different MREs. And ideally, you can get these components from, if you have good NCOs or team leaders or squad leaders, a box where you can just take surplus and unused MRE components and just consolidate and put them all into to help reduce food waste. And at worst, you'll have rat fogging. Now, what is rat fogging? Rat fogging is a method to get universally be hated by everyone in the platoon, where what you do is take an entire case of MREs, and if no one's looking, handpick and hand select the best entrees, snacks, and candies from it, and everybody else would just get the leftovers. Now, if you get caught with that, everyone would hate you, and you shouldn't do that in the first place. But unfortunately, we'll have to do that and minimize as much of it as we can to assemble this recipe together. Another issue identified is that half of these recipes use components that are no longer in circulation with MRE cases. So for Paratrooper Potluck Pie, I'm going to need 1 pouch of beef stew, which I already opened. I'm going to go need a half packet of cheese spread, which is not included with this MRE. Tabasco sauce, which I do have over here. And a half pouch of crackers crumbled, which I don't have. With Canteen Coca Mocha, 1 packet of cocoa beverage powder, which I don't think is in circulation with contemporary MREs. Half packet of freeze-dried coffee, which I do have from our beef stew ration. And 8 ounces of hot water, or a 1/3 canteen cup. Fair enough, easy to get. So, to make up for this deficiency and lack of ingredients, I will have to resort to commercial off-the-shelf food, or from another MRE. As much as I hate to open this, menu number 1, chili with beans, one of my favorites. I have to rat this one. So we have altogether our ingredients for Paratrooper Potluck Pie. 1 pouch of beef stew, half a packet of cheese spread, 4 dashes of Tabasco brand pepper sauce, half pound of crackers crumbled. Now with everything together, and after opening 2 MREs, we'll have Paratrooper Potluck Pie. Now, don't take a dive on your next meal. Jump into this military version of beef pot pie and let the others take a flying leap. Use plenty of Tabasco without reserve. It will lift you right off your feet. Our ingredients are as follows. 1 pouch of beef stew, heated. Half a packet of cheese spread. 4 dashes Tabasco brand pepper sauce. Half pouch of crackers, crumbled. Combine beef stew, cheese, and Tabasco, and mix well. Sprinkle cracker crust over top. For Canteen Coca Mocha, description is, rise and shine. You want to live forever. You'd be loco not to try this mocha to shake off the chill. Ingredients are 1 packet cocoa beverage powder. I'll be substituting this with Milo. Not common in American supermarkets, but very popular worldwide, a Nestle-produced chocolate beverage powder. Half packet of freeze-dried coffee. 8 ounces of hot water, or 1/3 canteen cup. Combine all ingredients and mix well. Alright, here we have it. Paratrooper Potluck Pie and Canteen Coca Mocha. Let's go try it out. Yeah, processed cheese spread and Dinty Moore with crackers that aren't really crisp, but the Tabasco sauce really lifts it up and brightens the flavor, which is quite nice. I wouldn't mind this if I was out in the field, but also at the same time, beef stew isn't bad, whether it's in MRE form or as Dinty Moore. Tastes about the same. Yeah, it's alright. I think a little bit more Tabasco sauce will improve it, but I do like Tabasco sauce. Let's go and cleanse out the palate. Let's go cleanse the palate with canteen water. Military issue HDPE. Very unique flavor. Let's go try our Canteen Coca Mocha. I think it tastes a bit watered down. I poured probably 4 ounces too much water into it. I did use the entire sachet of instant coffee, but at the same time, these like Bill's Brew instant coffees are 1.5 ounces compared to the standard 2 ounce of like Nescafe or Folgers Instant. So I don't know. This tastes kind of watered down to me. Like it's different than regular instant coffee, but whatever. I would love to have this if I'm cold or it's out in the early morning and the sun hasn't even risen up yet, but I still have to, do a patrol or do a mission. But overall, I give it a good old thumbs up. Let me go finish my meal, and I'll give my thoughts about it. Tabasco sauce improves most food. Also, it's a great way to remix leftover MRE components and put them together to something different, which is never bad. Now, are these recipes phenomenal? In my experience today, not really, but it isn't a bad thing to have. However, is it worth rat an entire case of MREs to make something out of this? Certainly not. And with some of these recipes, they are a bit dated, and you have to either fill it in with commercial off-the-shelf canned food or something else. But overall, not a bad thing to have, worth reading, and go and check it out. Link to the cookbook is in the description, as well as for its predecessor, the Charlie Ration Cookbook. Check out in the description, check out my video on the top right tab over here, and can't wait to try out your comments and hear it out. Now, if you do find this video informative, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and a like, comment down below on what you think, and support it. Sources for everything should be found in the video description. This video is... Now, any sort of random advice I would like to give, go and get yourself a solar generator, essentially a big power pack containing lithium batteries. While filming this episode, the power got knocked out for an extended period of time, so I was able to charge electronic devices with an internal battery, such as this phone that I'm recording with, the wireless microphone, and other cameras. Also for LED lights, I was able to keep them on using this power pack. I find this particular device to be great. I'll link it in the description below for an affiliate link, but I love this thing. And you can get a lot more extended use out of your time, especially for filming or doing any sort of survival situations, or have it out in your home in case we have outages today. Has a smart USB output, very fast charging, 100 watts, 2 USB outputs, very useful, and even a built-in inverter. And for a pack like this, I can't even build an equivalent thing by myself using components from AliExpress and batteries. I find this to be a great value, and especially if you pair it with a solar panel, a very useful kit to have, and it can help you survive really, really bad situations.